was lucky enough to have been raised in the church. I have not one, but two wonderful mothers who have taught me and continue to teach me the importance of God. For those of you who don't know much about me, I am a mom of two little girls. Noelle is 5 and Haven is 1. One of the greatest honors of my life has been being their mom. As I grew up, my mom taught me the importance of attending church, fellowship with believers, and how to pray and spend time in the Word. As I entered middle school, every night she sat by my bed and listened to me, led me in a devotion, and taught me how God is close to us. I truly believe this was pivotal in my life. Having that time not only with her, but with God helped shape me into who I am today. When you have spent time in God's presence and felt His tangible touch on your life, then you know beyond a shadow of a doubt that He is real and that He sticks closer than a brother. But how do we get true encounters with Him? By spending time with Jesus. After middle school, I continued my walk with the Lord, and seemingly enough, in God's perfect timing, Spencer and I began dating, fell in love, got married, and started our lives together. Little did I know that the whole time I had another mother praying for me, Lawana Hughes. Ladies, never underestimate the power and the importance of prayer. Start praying now for what you want to see in your life and your family's life in the future. God truly hears every single word. All of us here know the importance of attending church and spending time with other Christians, or we wouldn't be here today. But I want you to think about the why for a moment. Why do we do all of these things that we do? Is it to check off the box and say, I attended church this week? Is it for our children to memorize the most Bible verses? Of course not. We all know that. It's because we know that the most powerful, sustainable, ever-present thing in our life is Jesus living within us. It's our daily communion and connection to Him. He is what carries us through our life and what gives us joy even on our darkest days. Haven's middle name is Joy, and I truly believe that her name was handpicked by God just for her. When they brought her to me at the hospital, we were told that the doctors had a concern. She had a hole in her back, and they weren't sure if her spinal cord was closed. They told me my baby had a congenital birth defect. I went from being so happy and holding my brand new baby girl to worrying whether or not she would ever walk. A quick Google search that I should have never done led me into a rabbit hole of fearing for the worst possible outcomes. After one of her follow-up doctor's appointments, I remember coming home and collapsing next to my mom. I was barely hanging on. I had postpartum depression with both of my girls, and to add this on was all too much. As we awaited more test results, my mother gave me a word, and I remember it as clear as day. She said, Leah, if God is allowing you and Spencer to walk through this, then He will equip you with His strength to carry on. I was reminded of His strength, of His promises. It was in that moment that I clinged to the Lord and His might. I remembered my encounters with Him, His presence, and His peace. I felt a joy come inside my heart again, even in this scary place. It's God's presence that guides us, and He uses other women, mothers, daughters, sisters, to speak and remind us about who He is just when we need it. And so I challenge you to be that woman, to share an encouraging word or a truth about the Father, that it might instill a deep joy inside another woman's heart. And praise God, my baby is running and there's absolutely nothing wrong with her spine. Psalm 16:11, in your presence there is fullness of joy. Amen.